Hey, how's it going? My name is James P. White. That is Chris Mooney, and you laugh every time I
I
start
know.
this
It's
podcast
awesome.
that way.
It's awesome. I love
Hey,
it.
how's it going?
I
I've
love
been
it.
doing
I
that.
can't even help myself. If I
I've been
tried, I'd
doing that
still.
on my podcast, like for the Jedi Jimmy podcast, and I think I even did it on my weekend show too when I was at the radio station. But yes, this is the Bald and Short of It podcast. This is this 38?
It is so, yeah.
No, it's 39. This is episode 39.
Are you sure about that?
I'm almost 100% sure.
Anyway, we continue to what, Jimmy?
We continue to circle the toilet bowl of anger and hatred.
Loathing.
Oh, both they're both one and the same. I both loathe you, and I'm angry at you most of the time, anyways. Um, yes, this is the Bald and Short of It podcast. There's a lot of anger,
You know what?
a
You're
lot
right.
of
It's
loathing.
39. Episode 39.
Yeah, it is 39, baby. We're
Wow.
almost at 40. There's a lot of stuff we didn't talk. Go through a lot of our content last podcast. If you did miss it, you can find it wherever you can get your podcasts, and also on our YouTube page. Uh, we had Dave Neon, and we talked about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And you need to check her out. She has this sort of radio show on NR92, Nate Radio, and she's in radio school right now. Cool chick.
Yeah,
And
it's Wednesdays from 6 to 8 on nr92.com. And this week she'll be featuring the Bee Gees, who are a personal favorite of mine. So highly I if you listen to it and pretend I didn't tell you, even better. But you won't regret it. I promise.
yeah, you're a Bee Gees guy, eh? Uh,
Yeah, big time. I
I
love
know
I
you're
love those rich harmonies.
I know you're big. You're big on whatchamacallit, the like yacht rock, but I never knew that about you.
Yeah,
Ab-
well,
ABBA too, or no?
yeah. I could take me some ABBA. I don't love it all. It's a little cinematic or like musical ish e to me, but there's some songs that are just are ridiculously good. Like knowing me, knowing you. Just the harmonies are retarded.
I could see you as the cowboy from the Village People, but
Is that what happens when you go to sleep and things happen while you're sleeping?
just with you, baby. Uh,
Speaking of sleeping, what'd you get up like 2 minutes ago, Ronald McDonald? Now we're calling that the rooster tail. Like
no, it's
holy
pretty
shit.
much Ronald McDonald because he is
Yeah.
afro, and
Oh
usually
my
I have it
god.
slicked back. I was gonna brush it, and I'm like, yeah, why? I even walked to the liquor store.
Honestly, dude, like next Halloween, grow your fucking afro out and go as Ronald McDonald. That would be that'd be so good. Because like it's already ridiculous on the like your salad on the top, but if you had it going on the sides, like just grow it out, and then
I don't like the sides long.
well, it's not about you; it's about your fans. Show up, like get that dye going, man, and be Ronald McDonald for Halloween. I'll pay for your drinks all night, and we both know that's a hefty tab.
Oh, yeah. Uh, Speaking of that, what are you drinking?
Oh, back on the duas. I really like that stuff. It's really good.
I'm drinking a wide variety of beers. Actually, I got this thing from the liquor store.
Yeah, you were
It's
talking about that
it's
before.
called the Alberta uh, Mix Box, and it's a variety of breweries.
I don't. Let me. Can you show me the box because you said a different companies.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, yeah, like um,
So so
just say them.
it's got four different types of beer, and they're all from different breweries. So the breweries are it's Jasper Brewing Company, Banff, Banff Fave Brewing Company.
I bet there's a Campio in there.
No, Last Best. Last Best is no. It's owned. I've got Last Best from Campio.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
Last Bass Brewing and Babe Brewing.
you think it's a bunch of breweries, but I'm willing to wager, and I don't know for sure, but that they're all owned by Campio, because I think we talked about this before. Campio owns Jasper, and they bought a few others.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, so I bet it's because it's not often you get a variety box with like Labatt and Canadian, and you know, I mean, so I bet okay, there's different brands, but they're all owned by the same parent. I bet.
Never even thought of that. I'll have to look that up. So I'm a fan of Campio.
Yeah, they make good beer, but they're a lot bigger than you think.
Yeah, so that's what I'm drinking, and right now I'm drinking the Jasper Brewing Crisp Pills.
So, so we're not even going to do a weigh in or nothing anymore. Eh?
I gave up.
It's just like
We
you're not even like
we just
Michelob Ultraing it.
no, we decided this last week. I said, yeah, like I guess what I had for lunch. I had McDonald's.
Oh, for
Um,
fuck's sakes! It's like you're clinging, like you were clinging like a life raft to the Michelob Ultra, because it was like like the last thing out of like the three things that you said you were going to do, and you're clinging to it like a life raft, and now you're just spiraling into the bottom of the ocean. Like whatever.
I'm spiraling.
Like which is fine, but let me tell you this. Uh if you can, the fast food is poison. Just not for nothing.
No, I know.
I don't. That's the one thing that do not do. Um, and
I just hadn't had a burger in so long.
then now that it's your last meal before you hit the bottom of the ocean.
Before I hit the bottom of the
You know,
ocean.
before
Yeah.
before the concrete on your shoes dries.
Yeah. Before I finish circling the toilet bowl of loathing and hatred.
Loathing and
I've already
personal hatred.
yes. So we didn't really get into our week much. We talked about St. Patty's Day and all that kind of stuff.
Did
Uh
we cover that enough? Like, did you feel like you got enough? Yeah,
I think we hit it good.
good.
Other other than there's one thing I'll bring up after, but talk your week.
Well, St. Patrick's Day, we did all that. Well, you did all that. I had a more leisurely St. Patrick's Day, and then Johnny, friend of the podcast, Johnny and I, Schmiller time. Did you see that design he did? Schmiller time.
Yeah.
Anyway. Schmiller time and I went to George Thorogood at Cree, and yeah, I don't think we ran into anybody we knew, so that's like the 10%. But it was a fun night.
But if you were with me, you would have seen people.
Oh yeah, well, we would have seen people that knew you, and whether or not you knew them is another story. But it was a great show. Thorogood was fresh as a daisy. His voice sounded great. He's in his 70s now,
Oh,
and
he's a total douchebag.
well, he might be personally, but he puts on a good show. And I didn't really care if I met him or not, but I enjoyed the show. And that was Thursday, and then Friday we did the podcast. So it's been a short week for us on that front.
Yeah.
And then so we're recalibrating. But the good news is that we talked a lot about music and stuff, and there's a few things in the can that we wanted to talk about today, so that's good. And then I stayed home after that because we had ourselves a couple drinks during the cast. Oiler game. No, there's an Oiler game Saturday. And then my niece and nephew got confirmed in our Catholic faith.
So we were kind of talking about that off air. Is that basically like adult baptism kind of thing?
No, because you're already Catholic. You got baptized when you're a baby, but when you're around 12 or 13, um, you actually make the commitment yourself. So like I'm my niece's godfather, and so when she got baptized, it's a baby. They can't talk. They can't really process that they're becoming Catholic. So you answer for them. Do you believe in God, the Father Almighty, Jesus Christ, all that stuff? Do you, plan to live according to the tenets of the Catholic faith, all that? And, of course, your godparents go, yes. And then that becomes your job to guide them along the path to Christendom or Catholicism. And then by the time they turn like 12, they make that commitment for themselves. So they're like, I'm going to take responsibility for um, my journey through Catholicism and my devotion to Christ and all that stuff. So yeah, it was nice. It's always nice. I like how they do it in the spring, and um, it's one of the sacraments. If you're Catholic, I have all
It's
my,
spring
what
where
spring.
it's spring. There's
Well,
still
ish.
snow on the ground.
Okay. Well, it was a nice day when they did it, and there was light coming through the plane glass or whatever. Anyway, um, and yeah, I have all my cards for sacraments except for death, which is the worst because you complete the set and then you're dead, so you can't enjoy it. Like sacrament of marriage, sacrament of confirmation, reconciliation, communion, baptism. They're all cards, and you collect them if you're Catholic. It's one of the bonuses. Shitty thing is, though, like I said, when you finally complete your set, you're dead.
You pass your cards on to somebody. So can you trade cards with
Yeah, I'm
other
like,
Catholics?
I'm
Hey,
like,
can I? I've been married a couple of times. I'll trade you a marriage card for your death card. How about that?
yeah,
Um,
like you go up to a guy who's in hospice care, and you're like, "Hey, pal, I got this death one, or I got this marriage one. It didn't work out for me, but I'll trade it for you. So that when you pass, can I have yours?
can I have your
You're not
death
going to
card?
use it anyway."
Oh,
And
that's
maybe when my so and so of an ex-wife dies, she'll belong to you in heaven, but then you'd be in hell.
uh,
Anyway, yeah, I did the confirmation thing on Sunday, and then I guess here we are because it's Tuesday now.
yeah. I was like I'm not Catholic, but I guess it's the equivalent of Protestant faith, and
Well, we're
I was
Christian.
yeah, but I was I was christened when I was a baby, united, but then I did we call it the adult baptism, where they drown you. Um,
Is that still United, or did you join a different
no,
sect?
it's still Protestant. It's a free church, evangelical free church in Tabor.
Yeah,
It's,
they want to put their stamp on you. But
yeah, yeah,
everything that's Christian.
I got the tattoo in my forehead, like the 666. No,
With the hair to match.
with the hair to match.
They're keeping a seat warm for you in hell. No pun intended.
Um, my week was eventful. I like again we had St. Patty's Day, like almost 2 weeks ago, and actually it was 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And by the
No,
way,
it was a week ago.
no, it wasn't two. It was two.
Today's the 24th.
Okay, maybe it was 1 week ago.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it
feels
was.
like longer because
It feels longer because we've done a podcast. This is our second podcast since it.
and yeah,
Uh,
you packed a week of drinking into one night, so that's an extra week.
yes, and you know, and I do need to bring something up, and especially when I'm drinking. Like I'm a very stubborn guy. I've always been like very independent in
Headstrong.
and when people try to help me and I don't want to be helped, when I'm sober, I'm nice about it, but when I'm drunk, I'm like don't fucking touch me. I'll do it. Leave me alone. And you brought it up last week that or on Friday that I was a bit of a dick to you when
Oh,
you were
I wasn't
helping me.
complaining. I get it.
No, but it's just I have a tendency of just not dealing well with people trying to help me. And because I've always been that independent guy, but especially when I'm drinking and people trying to lift me, I get because one of my greatest pet peeves in the world is people lifting me up. And like it especially if I say no. Like I've been lifted up by drunk people before where I'm dropped. I landed on my face a couple of times, and that really sucks when someone 6 foot tall lifts you up. and stuff like that. So I get a little bit dicky, and if I was a dick to you, which you pointed out, I'm sorry, man. I
I didn't.
I know you were doing it out of trying to help a guy out,
Yeah,
but
well, I didn't say it to for an apology or anything like that. I um, just pointing it out is all. That's it. Like in a way that's kind of like if it was me, I'd want someone to tell me and go, oh, "Okay, thanks for letting me know." But I'm not upset, mad, angry,
yeah,
nothing. There's no apology required. But for the record, I didn't try to fucking objectify you and lift you. Hey, look,
no,
here's my buddy.
no,
Hug you like a teddy bear.
it's it's just a thing that
I'm not. I did not do that. I don't want anyone listening to think that I was carrying you around the bar like a fucking Barbie doll,
yeah,
teddy
no,
bear.
you were trying to lift me into an SUV, which some of them I can't get my feet that high, and
For purely, I was trying to lift him into an darkened windowed SUV, purely to help, not for any nefarious reasons.
yeah,
We didn't slip him a Mickey and have our way with them.
that was after we were done the Uber. Um,
Whatever.
so
Stop talking about that. It's all good.
so another thing is we didn't talk about this last week, but when we went to Druid last Friday,
Yep.
and we were talking, and you creeped me out hardcore, and I need to bring this up because
Oh, fuck off.
it is. What do you mean, fuck off? Bite me, okay? Because you. Okay, this is the exact quote, everybody. Okay, he goes, "Hey, I was making my bed the other day, and and then I was thinking about you. Why are you thinking about me while you're making your damn bed? Like that is creepy."
Now I forgot why. Like, it's like I got it off my chest what it was a point I wanted to make, and then it went away to be replaced by other thoughts. I don't know, but the two things didn't have nothing to do with each other. It just so happened that whatever it was about you that I was thinking about popped into my head then, and it wasn't subconscious, and there was no faggotry attached to it or anything like that. It was simply, while I was performing a regular action that adults perform, I something came to mind. Should I have been as descriptive when I mentioned when I got the idea? Probably not. Obviously, I'm getting sewered on the podcast for it. But
It like I've asked other people about that,
oh,
and they
good. It's
go,
like
"Yeah,
spread the word. Mooney thinks
oh,
about me when he's in bed. Because that's what happens. I do it all the time. First it's walking by your bedroom, then you change the story. It was when he was making his bed. Then it was like
while
before he
he's
went to
sleeping."
bed. Then it's while he's sleeping. Then it was dreams. Then it was a wet
Then
dream, and then
then
he's
it's
jerking off in his bed thinking of me.
then it's then it's while he's hanging out with his wife. He's
Yeah. Oh my God.
started thinking about Jimmy and getting
That's
hard.
the 10th
Um,
circle of hell.
but yes, I had to bring that up because that was a very something that
But
damaged me
you
for a very
forgot.
long.
Like, see,
I forgot what
you
the
forgot the
actual
point I was
story was.
making, and that was the whole point. It's now in the ether. It's gone. So we don't even know. All we're left with is making my bed and thinking of you. Fantastic.
I think it had something to do with the podcast. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. But the least important thing is the one thing you remember.
That was the most important thing than whatever you had to say. Um, just saying that. Uh,
Yeah.
so another thing happened this week, and this was actually Sunday night after I was done work. I went to do a stripper gig for. I was stripped for a birthday party, and there was a few women, and it was mostly guys that know me from radio, and so they hired me to strip as a reason to hang out with me and have some beers. But I find it weird, and it kind of because I was talking to these people, and most of them, when I moved to Edmonton over 20 years ago, weren't even born yet. Like, and I'm stripping for them, and I it's kind of weird now as I'm getting older and stripping for all these young people. Like I've done another thing at another location that we're going to keep off the that was all younger people, university level students, and I just find it weird now that I'm stripping for people that could be their dad. Um,
Were you professional about it, or did
oh
you
yeah, of course.
like?
It's weird now that I'm doing all these that I'm still doing all these entertaining things, and most of these people weren't alive when I moved here. Never
Yeah,
mind.
well, that's all right. So you never talked much about that. So that was a paying gig with
Yeah,
with
I was there for an hour, and it was downtown, and walked in. They gave me $200. Walked out.
did you uh did you hang out after? Like you must have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like basically I danced for one song and till my underwear, and then walked out.
Yeah, so I never paid for that. I was no part of it. I didn't think
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Didn't.
You weren't thinking about me stripping while you were making your bed.
The thought
Um,
never occurred to me once, I promise.
yeah,
Everything was fine. But well, good for you. You made a few bucks and you had a good time apparently. So
yeah. It was a good time, and that was Sunday, and now today is Tuesday. Uh, yeah. But other than that, that was my week.
not too shabby, you ask me.
Uh, what, let's get into something else. Let's get into what do you got for sports, bud? Or do you have anything?
I almost don't want to talk about the Oilers. The irony of the Oilers. This is like Alan Mitchell, who you know is low tide, or most people do. He's one of my favorite local prognosticators about our team. Um, said yesterday, or the day before, that this is one of the most disappointing years in Oilers history, and I can't. I've been more heartbroken, but I'm not sure I've been less disappointed or more disappointed than this year. We can't seem to find any consistency or a groove. There's 11 games left in the season, and we're still in a position to get first place in our division. And any normal season, you go, yeah, they're building, they'll get there. If they don't get it, it'll be the last couple games of the season, whatever. But they're going to get one or two. And this year, they're going to make the playoffs. But the Pacific Division in which they're in just sucks. And and the way they're playing, like there's nothing's guaranteed with 11 games left. So if you harbor any hidden hopes or expectations that the Oilers are gonna be in the Stanley Cup Finals again, like I honestly hope you're right. I'm praying and wishing with you, but any realist would go, "What the hell, man?" So the Oilers play the Utah tonight. There are some key games. I think 5 of the next 11 games are against teams that we're directly competing with for the Pacific Division title. Um, and so they'll be exciting to watch. I almost feel like now's the playoffs. So I'll be cheering for them. Obviously, they're going to make the playoffs, but these games are huge. And I wish I knew what kind of team we'd get night in, night out. We don't. So on we move to baseball, and the Blue Jays start their season on Friday. It'll be opening day, like they call in baseball. Kevin Gausman's starting. And I got to tell you, uh, making the World Series, like that's one thing. But I think that this Blue Jays team that we're seeing on the field right now is even better than that. I try to be as objective as possible, but right now we got some pitching issues with Bieber, Barrios, and Trey Savage not in the starting rotation due to injury, but they're going to be back. It's a 162 game season. This team has places to go and things to see, and they're going to be a joy to watch, I think, for all of those games. So, any chance you get to tune into the Jays, don't wait for the playoffs. This is a wagon. Get on it. Watch these guys.
When does this season start, or has it already?
Friday. I said that.
I I listened to I listened to your sports intently. Can't you tell? So
I know I'm not
so
even going to talk about F1 anymore or anything like that.
yeah, you did, yeah, because I will just hang up this mic and walk over to your house and kick you. Um,
Yeah, like
uh,
I'm going to Vegas in May, and I'm probably going to bet $100 that George Russell wins the drivers' championship and Mercedes wins the constructors, because we're 2 races in, and he's a Mercedes driver has won both races. Um, Kimi Antonelli won and George Russell the first one, and Mercedes won both. So they're
okay, I'm
taking
calling my Uber now.
it. That's it. I'll leave it at that. Okay. But Jays, Jays.
Uh,
Looking forward to it.
Now, I was just while I was paying attention intently on your sports, one thing I noticed dealing with sports right now is also the the Edmonton football team, the CFL team,
Eskimos.
the or Edmonton Elks. Here,
The
I
Eskimos.
prefer the Edmonton CFL team because I'm not doing a pissing contest on that one. But their first home game is June 20th. I think we should go.
Wow.
We need to go to a game. We've been talking about it since we've had a podcast about going to a game. It's more than just for the sports. I'm not a huge sports guy, but I love going to watch the football, hang out with fans and people that are just drinking for the sake of drinking. Um, this will actually, if we go, this will mark the second, no, actually the first time since I got dragged out of the place in an ambulance. So
You're like, what was the T-shirt you wore
no, it was a
or the
hat.
hat? What did it say?
Buy a midget a beer,
Oh my god! Tell
and
me you weren't asking. You
no
subconsciously
people
wanted.
wore
You
that
wear.
hat for over a year.
You know what's going to happen when you put that hat on at a
Oh yeah,
football game.
like and it worked well, but this time it worked
Yeah,
a little bit too well.
too well.
Like
Exactly.
like I had like, and you've seen the size of those beers, and
Yep.
not like they were the super cans, like
Yep.
because they're easier to carry around than the pints. Um, and I always had two in my hand at one time. If I had one hand empty, people were bringing me another beer. Um, I did the math, and during the length of time I was at the game before I got dragged out by the party limo, um, also known as an ambulance. Uh, I uh, I did the math. I had 10.
That's like
That's
you can process your beer, but um,
when you do that much
but
in a 3 hour period of time.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
and then you like you always say, I don't eat when I'm drinking, so
yeah,
that probably doesn't help. I'm not sure yet. One thing I will say, marginally still talking about sports, is that it looks like the Eskimos are going to have a really good team this year. So
yeah.
I'm hopeful about that.
But yes, so that's all you got for sports,
Yeah,
other than the forbidden.
the forbidden.
Okay, so that is. Oh, actually, there's one more thing that we were gonna bring up because you put it in the prep. This Hockeyville thing in
That's what I
Taber.
thought you were talking about when you were talking about the Eskimos. Yeah, like I'm gonna tell you what I know, and then you fill in the blanks, okay? Because you're from Tabor, and
Yeah,
I don't watch Hockey Night in Canada anymore. I don't watch CBC anymore. I have nothing to do with that. I know that they co-produce Hockey Night in Canada with Sportsnet. I never miss an Oilers game, but I make a point that when I'm watching the Oilers on Saturday, Hockey Night in Canada, that I watch on the Sportsnet channel. Not that it makes a difference, but so I don't pay much attention to the CBC initiatives or the corporate sponsorship. But I know that Kraft has been sponsoring this Hockeyville, and they give money to towns, um, small towns that have big support bases for them in terms of small towns. And Hockeyville is a feather for those towns to put in their cap. And I think they announced 2 finalists. one of which is Tabor, and the other one's Tumbler Ridge. That's where that trans person killed those poor people a couple 3 months ago.
Yeah,
And
and Tabor is where I grew up, and their arena kind of blew up. Um,
that's what I wanted to ask you about because I don't remember hearing about the wreck of the Tabor Arena.
it was a huge fire. They say something in the Zamboni room. Uh,
Propane, probably.
yeah, blew up, and so caused a huge like it's no, yeah, it's toast.
Was that just before you moved away?
No, this was like less than a year ago, like probably 6 months ago.
How come I never heard about that? Like, I don't
Didn't
remember
we?
hearing that.
Didn't we talk about it on the pod? I thought we did.
Maybe.
I feel like we did because we talked about this Hockeyville thing before on the podcast, but we were drinking, and our memories are kind of a little bit
Yeah, well,
muddled.
I personally, I got skin in the game a little bit that I hope Tabor wins, but when you're competing against a town that's been in the press very recently and there's a lot of lives lost, they're going to go neutral voters will go what matters more, a new arena for Taborites or something to bring joy to a devastated community that was massacred by a trans shooter, right? And then they can put a nice bow on it and everyone can be happy. That which is impossible, but whatever. I'm editorializing now. I hope you guys get that new arena sorted.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of when it was. It was last year. Like
Yeah.
it was towards the end of the year.
So, were you visiting or?
No, I had people messaging me and phoning me and everything about the explosion.
So Jimmy didn't speak in class that day. That's
Oh, it
terrible. I
was.
should be laughing about that.
Oh, it was. It wasn't even that long ago. It was December.
Oh wow, that's pretty fresh.
Yeah, it was. And they did an investigation and say it wasn't human error. It was just
Why
freak
why did you
accident.
why did you feel you needed to mention that?
I don't know. Let's just
Jeremy,
look
I
the
mean
first
Jimmy.
article. Yeah, so it was back. It was back in December.
Well,
We
I'll
have
try.
talked about. We have talked about it on this pod.
I'm trying to
I
erase
remember.
it from the blackboard.
Okay, but so that's all you got for sports,
Yeah,
and or at least the legal stuff. Because if you talk car racing, then might have to make your death look like an accident.
you bitch
Um,
every time I go too long about sports, and and to your credit, sometimes I do. I'm a avid sports watcher, and I can get a little long winded. I'm working on it, so we'll leave it at that.
hold on a sec. You get long winded, huh? That's news to me, and we've been doing a podcast since like June, and I didn't know that about you. Like it's not like we did a podcast on Friday where we broke down the whole the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you had a story for each band, like all 207 of them. Or okay, sorry, I digress. I apologize. Uh, let's change lanes here. Are you?
Yeah, I thought you'd want to change the subject after we talk about crimes that were committed and things where maybe you were implicated. Whatever happened to that thing in Alaska?
Uh, so so let me ask you a question, and it's a music question. Neil Diamond fan or no?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, one of the greatest songwriters of the 20th century. Easy. And there are a lot of great ones. He gets a lot of like I think in the pop oeuvre, uh, Neil Diamond is actually like very highly underrated.
I've been a fan. Like my parents I don't know if your parents were the same, but mine are huge Neil Diamond fans growing up, and like they had all the albums. Actually, one of the first song that I ever taped, like recorded onto my uh, tape recorder when I was a kid, was was actually America.
Oh, that's a classic, right?
Yeah, huge fan, and like my aunts and my dad and like my cousins, they're all huge fans.
What a
He's
wonderful song that is. It's so aspirational.
yeah,
Great, great changes too. Sorry, go on.
but he is actually releasing his first album in over 12 years.
Holy cow!
So,
I
and
thought he
he's
was
doing
fighting
it with
Parkinson's or something.
I don't think that's Neil Diamond. I think that's somebody else.
No, I think like you can Google Neil like AI it, but I think that he announced it a year or two back that he was ending touring on account of Parkinson's or some such.
But he's working with Rick Rubin. I know that name. How
Oh
do I know that
wow,
name?
you're kidding, right?
Yeah,
You know
no, I know the name. I
Johnny
just
Cash, Johnny
oh, okay,
Cash,
okay,
like
yeah.
Johnny Cash's career revival, like um, Rick Rubin produced that, and Rick Rubin did Beastie Boys, Did he do Run DMC? I think so. Um, was it? No, that was a different guy. But Red Hot Chili Peppers. Rick Rubin's a legendary producer, but he, yeah, like the later Johnny Cash phase, like I Hurt Myself Today, like they did a trilogy or something, and that was all Rick Rubin.
Huh.
And
Yes,
they're gonna,
it is Parkinson's.
yeah. Well, I honestly hope that Neil can put together a nice bit of music for, like, he's such a great songwriter, and if he's working with Rick Rubin, you're gonna like, I'll listen to it. And yeah, we my parents never had any Neil Diamond vinyl or anything like that. I just got it from listening to the radio and stuff. But um, like last week, Davey and I were talking about the Eagles and their greatest hits, and it's kind of like, or Billy Joel's greatest hits. He has a volume 1 and 2, and it's just ridiculous. Just a total, um, like one of the best albums ever. And if you did that for Neil Diamond, and I should check it out on Spotify or
Oh,
something.
that would be a multi-disc.
Yeah, but if you just said, okay, Neil Diamond's best 12 songs, like, and nobody had ever listened to him before, they're like, oh my God, thank you. That's what a gift, right?
Yeah, like he's like hands down. I think he's one of those song writers, artists that's multi generational. That like there's not too many people that like even your kid's age or younger that wouldn't know a Neil Diamond song to hear it.
Yeah, and like absolutely timeless music and just beautifully crafted songs. So good for him. And yeah.
Like Sweet Caroline, everybody knows that. If it's playing in a bar, everybody's doing the ba ba
Yeah, well,
ba.
it's famous for the from the Red Sox games. Sorry, is that sports? Like,
No, yeah, yeah,
don't hit me.
it's okay. I'm not gonna hit you.
Um, uh, Red Sox, no, but I mean, you play that in any arena, and stop
Yeah,
it. Everyone's know the um, but it's almost like that song overshadows his career, like um, like for all the hits that he has. But he's like Barry Manilow, right? Barry Manilow's another. I know he's at the Westgate. You can still see him in Vegas. But did we talk about all the jingles he wrote, Barry Manilow, before
yeah.
he did? Yeah.
We did that a few episodes ago. I can't remember
Mhm.
exactly which one, but I know we did talk about
But
that.
if you're interested, anyone listening, like you Google Barry Manilow jingle writer, and you'll be absolutely blown away by. And that's just some guys just have it, like that ability to construct a melody. And to me, songwriting, and I've tried my hand at it. Songwriting, the most important thing is having that melody. You can do a chord progression and a catchy thing, but having the melody is what people remember, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Oh, 100%. That's it. And if you have one that catches, that that sticks with you, like there's no one that's like. like when we talk about songs that's like Neil Diamond, "Sweet Caroline,"
Yep.
"America," "Cracklin' Rosie," "Forever," and "Blue
Cock and
Jeans.
Rosie, another, yeah, for like
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. There was a kid when I was like in grade 4, and I mean, you know, you can barely. I don't even know if we were doing the times table yet or whatever, but or handwriting, and this kid used to like draw like Batman, and it was just ridiculous. Like the detail, it looked like a cartoon writer, and this kid's like what, 9, and I'm looking at that going like I could never do that. I just can't. Like I don't have that talent. And so it's kind of like if somebody if a cartoonist had a weekend cartoon camp and I went, I'm not coming home being able to draw better cartoons. That's just a skill that you have that I don't. Period.
yeah,
Right? And then it's the same with like I know they have these songwriter camps or whatever, and I mean people who don't or who haven't or don't want to write songs or haven't tried or whatever or haven't been successful, they don't go to, they would be the ones, don't go to those. It's the ones that's tried it and say, yeah, I could probably learn a thing or two. But if you're sitting at the knee of a guy like um, Neil Diamond or Barry Manilow, like they're how are they gonna, they can't just touch your head and all of a sudden you get their talent.
yeah. Oh
And
yeah,
you know, like they, you know, they might go like, I woke up one day and fucking Sweet Caroline popped in my head, so I wrote it down. Like, what are you going to teach from that?
yeah. It's like and but he not only is a good songwriter and stuff like that, but have you listened to any of Neil Diamond's Christmas music?
Nope.
My mom has tons of his albums, and she plays them every time we're at hang out
I
on
know.
Christmas.
We listened
And
to them.
he has, but the thing is with his Christmas music is he's Jewish, but yet every song he sings that's a Christmas song, it's like you can feel it. Like it's like it's got feeling to it. Like he's a very emotional singer. Like you can feel
Oh yeah.
the vibe from him,
Well,
and he's Jewish faith.
he did that movie, The Jazz Singer. That
Great
was or
movie.
that was he wasn't in that, was he?
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah. He did. He was the main character.
yeah, and I think
Jess
that
Rob.
was
Jess Robinovich
yeah, and
was the
that
name of his character.
wasn't that autobiographical?
I
Where the
think there
old
was
man
some
didn't want, like with the Judaism and all that, didn't want him to.
like there was
It's a
some
Shonda.
similarities to it. Like there was some similarities to that, and then he got into music, and then he divorced his wife. Like there was or
Oh
at
yeah.
least in the movie he did, and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that's based on a true story, but it's a movie, and it's actually kind of funny. I remembered his
Hang on.
actual name.
Let me just check this out. Hey Grok, is the movie The Jazz Singer starring Neil Diamond autobiographical?
Good question. Let me check that quick.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I hear you loud and clear. Nah, it's not autobiographical. Just a remake of the classic 1927 Al Jolson flick. Neil Diamond
Oh,
plays a cantor who ditches tradition for pop music. But his real life? He grew up Jewish in Brooklyn, sure, but no stern dad forcing him into synagogue work. He was writing songs early, dropped out of college, and hustled in Tin Pan Alley. The movie borrows some cultural vibes, but it's fiction, not his diary. Here's the iconic poster. Check out that dramatic pose.
okay.
And
So,
rock the stage in full sparkle. Total
oh,
80s energy. Fun
oh yeah.
fact, he got
It was
Razzie
actually
for Worst Actor.
it
And
was
the
actually
soundtrack,
that
pure
when I
gold.
said I recorded the
Well, it
song.
says he got a Razzie for worst actor, but the soundtrack, pure gold.
Huh.
Anyway, just thought I'd show Grok just in case you wanted to pull that out later.
Yeah, I'm all about the grok.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. But no, So the only similarities between I didn't know anything about the Al Jolson thing or anything like that, but and
Yeah,
that would have been the first
I
moving
didn't know. I didn't
pictures.
know it was like a remake either.
Hmm. Let's
But
talk
yes,
about Kobayashi Maru.
okay. What the hell is that? Like I know,
So you
you
don't know,
use it,
like you were
like
saying that
you.
it's a
Okay, no,
ship.
just okay, just you tell your thing because you use it way too much, and it's a Star Trek reference. But I want to know like what.
Okay, I'm not a Trekkie, like, but I know I got enough Star Trek under my belt. I used to work with a fella when I was in university, the summertime on the roads, and he used to like to watch Star Trek when we got back to our room. And then I sort of got into the Next Generation, and he explained some of the shit to me, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of compelling. But um, my understanding of Kobayashi Maru is that it's an unsolvable problem that they do in Starfleet when they're training captains like Kirk or Picard or whomever, that they have to. It's an unsolvable problem, and then beyond that, it's basically a course of it. Really, just it's isolated, so it's not a school of teaching. It's just here's a problem we presenting with you that you have to solve, and there really is no right solution. I think it's more about ethics or whatever, but um, kind of like the old do you save your dying kid or do you save the planet from burning down or whatever. Anyway, I was talking about I've been busy this week with business a lot. I've had a few deals this week, and one of them was, without going into too much detail, I had a listing and the buyer wanted vacant possession, but they also wanted possession within 90 days. So if you're familiar with the Landlord Tenancy Act, because there's a tenant, obviously, if you're familiar with the Landlord Tenancy Act, you have to give the tenant 90 days notice minimum. But April 30th is in like a month. And so how do you provide vacant tenancy on April 30th? How do you provide vacant tenancy guaranteed without having a possession that's at least 90 days from now, if you follow my meaning? So I'm like, okay, you want possession on this date, which is within 90 days, but you also want vacant possession. So what the fuck, right? Obviously, you can wormhole your way around it, provide the tenant incentives, whatever. But I use the term Kobayashi Maru, and I think, at least on the surface, in law, they call it prima facie. That's a reasonable Kobayashi Maru. Now, do you get it?
I kind of do, but the Kobayashi Maru in Star Trek is was a test that they did in
Yeah, it's a
Starfleet.
test.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's a no-win scenario. So
yeah.
there's no way that you can actually win. Kobayashi Maru was actually the name of the ship that they do during this test to and
Oh, geez, I didn't see that. Yeah,
where they but when I said it was from the Wrath of Khan, I was right in the reference,
I don't
but I
remember you
was
saying Rathacon. You didn't say Rathacon. You just said a ship.
no, that's I said Star Trek, but
You didn't say Rathacon. Now,
no,
actually, now that you mention Rathacon, I don't think I've seen all the Star Trek movies, but most of them are pretty good. But the people, and I have seen Rathacon a long time ago. It's not
like
in my top
like
20,
the
but
original movies.
a
I
lot
think
of
the
guys I
original,
know say that Rathacon is like the gold standard for Star Trek movies.
yeah, the original movies, like the ones that they've done since, really have nothing on like the original with James T. Kirk with William
Shatner,
Shatner.
who just turned 95, by the way.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Canadian.
He
And that guy
is,
looks fucking fantastic. This guy's 95. Like,
and
honestly, you like my dad's gonna be, holy cow, 88 this year. And if you put him next to my dad, you like, and my dad looks great for his age. He really does. But you put him next to my dad, you're like, oh, like he's 65. I don't know how he does it, but good for you, William Shatner. Here's to William Shatner, the original Captain Kirk.
the original Captain Kirk. But when they redid the Star Trek movies with Chris Pine, and it was like an alternate reality, like a
I didn't mind those.
I didn't either, but they're not the same. They're they're
No.
not the same. And when they did the one with Khan, which was the second one,
Yeah.
um, I didn't like the again. It was a no-win scenario, and like in the original one, Spock was the one who sacrificed
Yeah.
himself, and then in the new one, it was Kirk.
Oh, and like so they introduced the Kobayashi Maru again.
Yeah.
But the Kirk one in the new one, like by the way, Chris Pine is son of Robert Pine, who played the captain in Chips. You know, Ponch and John.
Oh yes. Okay.
Robert Pine is his dad, and he was the captain in Chips. I
Huh.
think he had other. He obviously had other roles. I'm
You know,
obviously typecasting the guy, but
I thought I was the king of useless knowledge, but you're trumping me.
so.
It's kind of impressive.
But if I recall correctly, and I could be wrong, and fully admit it, but um, the Chris Pine version of Kirk, okay, like um, didn't he solve it in training? Like, didn't his Kobayashi Maru experience wasn't that in Starfleet in the movie, or was he like
He
in the field like Kirk?
no, like he had the Kobayashi Maru test,
Yeah, there you go.
and
That's
and
all I'm saying.
and and he did the same thing that Kirk did in the original movies too,
In the
which
Wrath
is
of Khan.
basically in the Wrath of Khan, or they talked about it. He didn't actually do it, but what he did is he kind of cheated the test by reprogramming it.
Yeah, great. But how okay? I don't remember Wrath of Khan, although I know it was a great movie. Did Kirk in like Kirk couldn't reprogram anything in Wrath of Khan?
No, he did. They talked about it. It didn't
Oh,
actually happen. Because in
it's the same Kirk, right?
yeah,
Like it's just
uh,
like the
yes.
prequel, right?
No, it's what it was is like the newer movies, the ones with Chris Pine,
Or a prequel,
is
obviously,
yeah,
because
but
motherfuckers in like
no,
Starfleet and shit.
no, but just wait. No, what happened was in the one with Chris Pine, the Romulans went back in time to before even Kirk was even born and killed his dad. So it was an alternate. The story was totally different as it went through because he was born in the original Star Trek or in the movie. So it was a totally different story. There was actually two different Spocks. Like
So that's just asking too much of an audience member like me. I'm public. Like you know. By the way, talk about useless knowledge. You're schooling me on Star Trek, and you're telling me that I'm the fucking guy with useless knowledge. Like I
no,
just
I
thought.
said I thought I
No,
was,
hang on a minute.
but then I said I thought I was the only one
Oh,
that
hey,
was the
I'm
master
not
of
for nothing. I'm
useless
like, hey,
knowledge.
what are you
But
talking about over here? No, like, but so
I
you're
was
saying,
actually it was a compliment.
well, it didn't sound like it, but nothing that comes out of your mouth rarely ever does. My question is this. Um, so am I to believe then, based on what you've just said, that the Captain Kirk that we know and love from our childhood in the late 60s TV show, in terms of Star Trek, like if any kind of continuity, is not the same Captain Kirk that's presented to us in the new movies with Chris Pine and
Uh, there's a difference because like the Captain Kirk that you see in the original
no,
Star
no,
Trek.
I don't want you to repeat yourself.
No,
You said
but it's were things from the original Captain Kirk's past that were changed. So he was like he had it didn't go through some of the same things. Like a prime example, I'll give you just one
there's a
example.
time travel piece.
It kind of yes,
Okay,
because his past changed. Like for example, like one quick example is the Captain Kirk that we knew as William Shatner.
yes.
He knew his dad. His dad was in Starfleet. He knew his dad growing up. But in the Chris Pine, his dad died when he was a baby.
and the producers or the writers or whatever attributed his father's death to Romulans going back in time,
Yes,
and
because
so they
you actually see the Romulans go back in time, um,
in the
in the movie.
original, the first movie starring Chris Pine. We won't even
Yes.
say they're both Kirk. We'll say Pine or Shatner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, by the way, the other thing about the Shatner Star Trek is that I didn't know is that it was only on for like 3 seasons. Because I read something about Shatner yesterday or
It
the
was
day
only
before.
3.
Yeah, like I'm almost positive. Like, and by the way, here, hang on. How many seasons did the original Star Trek get on network television? Oh, I didn't hit. How many seasons did the original Star Trek get on network television?
Checking the original Star Trek run. The original Star Trek, aka Star Trek the Original Series, ran for 3 seasons on NBC from
Huh.
1966 to 1969. It had 79 episodes total, but low ratings got it canceled despite fan campaigns. Here's the classic crew in their prime. And another shot of the full bridge team.
But they did
Pretty
did
wild
s-
it only lasted that long, right? Became
they did
huge in
s-
reruns.
they
though.
did 6 movies.
So, so when you say that it was huge in reruns, how many seasons has it been in syndication, and is it still in syndication?
Let me check that real quick.
You hearing that? Okay.
It kicked off in
Yeah.
syndication basically. Yeah, loud and clear. You good?
What about the syndication?
Sure, picking up where we left off. Yeah, so right after that final NBC episode in June 1969, syndication kicked off almost immediately, like within months. Kaiser Broadcasting scooped it up first, airing reruns daily on their station starting late 69, early 70. It exploded from there. By the mid 70s, you had it on local UHF channels everywhere, sometimes multiple times a week. Fans ate it up, and that's what built the whole phenomenon. Check this old TV guide ad from back then. Total nostalgia. And here's the crew looking sharp.
And
Probably
the funny thing about that
it ran like that for
is
decades, through the 80s, 90s, even into the 2000s on spots like My Network TV. But by around 2012, traditional over-the-air syndication faded out as streaming took over. As of now, 2026, nah, it's not on regular TV syndication anymore. Paramount Plus has it, DVDs, Blu-rays, but no more.
and
Holy
like
shit!
and Next Generation, which came out in the mid 80s, I think it was like 87. They had 7
Maybe it was
seasons.
like more like 90, or no? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But so think about this
First
for a minute.
episode was September of 87 of
Okay,
Next Generation.
you got it. But the Star Trek original. So you ever see The Sopranos and they talk about not Maury, the Jewish fella that was friends with
I-
Tony's dad. Oh, you never watched Sopranos?
I didn't
Yeah.
watch Sopranos.
Heshy. Anyways, that guy was all about like residuals off of like artists and their labels, and you get a producer piece, and then you can, like there's some guy that's like on a failed 3 season TV series that's still feeding his family like generations later, like through Star Trek syndication. Like you think Paramount Plus paid nothing for that?
Oh no, they
Like that's a golden ticket, man. Like,
yeah,
can you
and
imagine?
I think Paramount has everything Star Trek.
Oh, that's
Paramount
great.
Plus.
Like,
Because
and
they have the like that Star Trek Picard, which was like as Picard got older, it's
friend of the podcast, Mike Bayrak, loves that. I haven't watched it. I don't know.
I liked the first season, and then it just got kind of weird after that. But
I think start like I'm gonna at the risk of like having you lose your mind. From my perspective, and I've seen both, the the Star Trek like I enjoy the Star Trek more than Star Wars overall.
Okay,
It's like
that's
more intellectually stimulating.
okay. That's a whoa. Hey, watch your mouth.
What are you gonna do, Ronald McDonald? Stuff a frosty down my throat?
I'll,
Stuff
I'll
a
beat
fucking frosty down my throat?
I'll beat
Where
you
do
to
you get
death.
the balls?
I'll beat you to death with one of my lightsabers.
Yeah.
But yes, so I don't even know how we got onto the Star Trek.
Kobayashi Maru.
Kobayashi Maru.
So
But yeah,
anyway, we a simple real estate deal that I had to Kobayashi Maru my way out of. Hopefully, I'm waiting for paper from the buyer's side, but yeah, interesting. Anyway, I wasn't expecting the Star Trek tangent, but it doesn't mean I don't appreciate it nonetheless.
yeah, it's so funny. I'm just looking, and he's still smoking cigars.
Yeah, I saw the post on X of him crushing a stogie, like reminiscent or whatever, and I thought, good for him, good for the man. Eh?
Yeah, that's it's quite cool.
He had a
Yes,
controversy where his wife died in a pool or something way back, like, and there might have been questions. I don't know. I shouldn't even talk about it. I mean, the man's
yeah,
95. Yeah, forget about it.
we don't really know too much about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, where since we're on the chat, we had this in the prep for a while. I took it out, but I found it again.
If I was William Shatner and I was 95 and you called me on the chat, I'd probably punch you. Not for nothing.
Probably, but I'm probably not the only first person to ever have called him that, because I've heard people use calling him the Shat. But he's doing a rock album.
Yeah, heavy metal, isn't it?
Heavy metal with Zach Wild, and then there's like a bunch of stuff, a bunch of artists like all over the place.
But the
that's
people
actually
that signed
cool.
up, right? I saw that article too. Like the people that signed up, that list is impressive, isn't it?
It is. I'm just trying to find the whole list.
And like, what's he gonna like do? I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
That's how he does it. Yeah, actually, the Megadeth guitarist Chris Poland, a ton of people.
Searching, seek, and destroy.
But yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Good for him. You're 95 years old. I'm like, all those guys, like, if I'm Eddie Van Halen and he calls me, I'm like, yeah, sure, man. No problem. I watched the show. I was baked half the time, but whatever.
There's a pretty good chance that Eddie won't call him.
Yeah. That's what you would call a Kobayashi Maru. He might want him to.
He might want him to, but he's dead.
There's no reprogramming yourself out of that. And if you find a way, please let me know.
Wow. Okay, this got dark fast.
But you had a lot of music stuff in our notes.
Yeah, it was just like people's birthdays and stuff like that. I didn't put it all in back in because we were just sitting on it.
No, but Sammy Hagar started. Well, they're in the midst. They just finished the last show of their first stage of their residency in Vegas, and the next stage is in September. And we were supposed to be there this past weekend. I think it was Saturday was the last one, and they sound great. So we're definitely going in September.
Yeah, that's what the plan is.
I can't wait to film in Vegas at Dick's with you. I'm pretty sure that I get the green light because I know people over there.
What's Dick's?
So yeah, he's a little nervous after the talk about picking you up in a tinted window SUV. Well, dicks. It's not really dicks. What I meant is balls. No, Dick's is the bar that one of my best friends, Benny, works at in Vegas. If you ever go to Vegas, go to Dick's and ask for Benny. He's the best bartender in the world, bar none. There are no. I love a lot. Like I shouldn't say it, like I'm acquainted with a handful of bartenders, and of all of them that I've met, um, and the many more that I'm not as well acquainted with, Benny is my favorite. And beyond that, our friendship extends beyond him pulling pints and me sitting at the stool. We're friends. We hang out. And he's a really, really, really good dude. And he's never treated any of my friends with anything but full respect and decency and like honor. Love the guy. Dick's Last Resort is a bar at Excalibur uh, on the Vegas Strip, across the street from New York, New York, and adjacent to MGM and
Oh,
beside the
okay.
Luxor.
Okay. So I guess we're going to Dick's. Who knew?
Well, yeah, like you need to meet.
A bunch of guys going to Dick's. It sounds almost like a gay strip club.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of does. Not for nothing. Like I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And that's hence the shock to like me going, what? Why are we going to Dick's? It does sound like a
And what am I walking into? A dick. Except you're backing it. Boop,
oh,
boop, boop.
you're a sick bastard. Uh, I, I don't know if we mentioned this or not, but we have brought this up with the fact that we live in Edmonton and how stupid our city council is on a number of different things and all this infill crap. And I brought it up to you off air, and it
Yeah,
actually frustrates me because I've lived in this neighborhood for a long time. I
10
think
years.
I moved to, yeah, it's just hit 10 years.
Yeah.
And or at least in this apartment, I lived in the house next door where they're actually putting in two sixplexes. And I kind of wanted to bring that up. Like, how stupid is that? We're in the middle of the block and they're putting in two sixplexes, which I thought the rule was they couldn't do more than eight, like eight houses, or like in the middle of the
Like
block.
to a man, like you stand at the end of your block, let's just say on what 2nd Avenue there, and
Yeah.
you look north, like predominantly what do you see? Let me guess, houses, right?
Yeah, but now they're all these sixplexes or fourplexes,
Yeah. So
multi
what
they're tearing down all the old houses and putting
yeah.
in multi-family houses.
And if you're familiar with real estate development, and I don't expect you to be, and it's not your fault if you're not, but um typically, like if you look at a and I've done work with other municipalities like on contract. Um, if you look at a area zone map is what they call it, or like a area utility map or whatever, is like they you look at broad swaths of like neighborhoods, right? And they're like this whole section is purple. That whole section or this little narrow strip is white. This one is green. And it's like one's residential, one's multifamily, one's commercial. But then there's this really vague mixed use where you can have commercial next to residential. And it's very rare. So, but it might be like if you have like if you ever been to uh, overtime, right? And they have like a high rise above it, but it's called mixed use because you got. But the interesting thing about these eightplexes and whatever is it still lies within residential, but the rules change. So whoever develops it puts in like um, multifamily within a residential, right? So now you have these maps that used to just be purple, have little slivers of green that are like multifamily, right? or they skirt the rules altogether and say it's a residential, but it's not single family, it's multifamily. So how do you reconcile that? I'll tell you what, the city council has hearings. I've been to one or two of them, maybe more, and it's all just driven by the developer who's got a counselor or two in his pocket. And they put in, and then unless people bitched loud enough, and I have bitched and I've bitched loud, but I'm one guy, and they're like, we don't care about your vote, Mooney, fuck off. And so they pass it because the city has other interests. The developer wants to crush more people in and make more money into his development. The counselor wants to do his 15-minute cities. So they have mutual interests, right? And despite the fact that that counselor is elected by me, um, they have an
What they
interest that
do after
aligns.
they're elected is totally in their pocket. They could say they're going to do things
100%.
before.
Like, like you don't think we find out about these campaigns and all that shit. I know it's tiny, it's municipal, but it still takes a few $100,000, and it's a really small investment if you're a developer that stands to gain like a couple mil on something. Like, fuck out of here. It's all greasy, and we're all under thumb on that front. I mean, like 2 blocks from my house, and my house isn't cheap, Jimmy. Like, and I'm not saying that to brag, but it's an investment in a way, right? And then now, like, somebody wants to buy my house in 5 years, and they can't park because there's like literally at least a 12-plex disguised as a duplex until you look back deep in the lot and there's no parking. Uh, like sitting there, and all those people are parking on the street.
Yeah, it's so dumb. And like even in my neighborhood, like you've been here, like even
Mhm.
without all these sixplexes or eightplexes or whatever the hell they are, uh,
I'm there even
we
when
already
I'm not. Like, even when you don't think I'm there. Like when you're changing
I'm on the
with the
second
blinds,
floor. You'd have to
with the
stand on
blinds.
the you'd
I
have
know,
to
I know. Sorry,
you could probably see me from the garage next door. Uh,
I know.
but yeah, I know you can. He's a creepy bastard. But the thing is though, is even now, like there's no parking on the street
Yeah,
as it is now without all these sixplexes, and it's going to be even worse. And like with our parking in the back of our building, um, people are going to start parking there in our part in the like which is meant for us as residents.
yeah. Like, and I've been to your back alley, like, because you guys have an alley, but you also have, like, you have 9 units in your development, right?
Yeah,
And but there's a stall for every resident, right?
yeah.
And I mean, like, to me, despite the fact that it's a 9 unit thing, but it's a 50-foot lot. So what are you going to do? I mean, we're not talking about huge units, but and it's, what is it? A threeplex, fourplex,
Mine,
up and down.
like
Sorry,
there's 9 units in this
yeah, but how
building.
many stories? Sorry.
Two and a half.
Oh,
Like
okay. So it's,
yeah,
yeah,
like
it's a
it's
three level, three
like
level.
it's we got
It's a three level.
yeah, like in the basement. It like
Uh,
it doesn't
it's
go all the way up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you know what
But
I mean.
the point being is that, like, it presents as a like, almost as like a duplex, but at least it accommodates the residents with regards to
Yeah,
parking. It
yeah.
doesn't impose on the neighborhood for all the other parking, not to mention utilities and all those other things. So, um, and what our council is doing is activist. It's not listening to their constituents. It's not adhering to literally centuries old urban planning. It's trying to condense as many people as possible in a smaller area. And next week maybe we'll talk about 15-minute cities, and I'll do more research than I know now, so I don't sound like a zealot. But maybe
I
we'll leave it like,
15-minute cities annoy me too. I got you.
I don't know enough. Maybe I'm missing something, and I want to make sure that if I present ideas to the public, they're at least well formed. So I'll leave that out, but I know enough about it now to think that it's an indictment against council, but I'll go through the research unbiased.
Sorry.
You got something to say over there, Ronald?
Uh, I don't know. Uh, you and unbiased usually don't usually sit in the same lane, but
I also noticed that you were yawning a little bit. Like, I hope you're not our audience. Like, are you doing all right? Are you still recovering from the strip gig on Sunday? Or
no, I'm doing fine. I don't know why I'm tired, but uh, you have that tendency on me that I need to fall asleep.
I wanted to
Uh,
ask you something, Jimmy.
okay.
Uh, we for the listener out there, like we have episode notes, and like it's not we nothing here is scripted. Obviously, we've said that. You can probably tell by the way we manage ourselves on the show. But like the plan is for normally for us to be organic, but we have talking points where things that you want to talk about, things that are available to talk about, whatever, but we don't really classify them. You had something on the notes for a few months, or no, a few weeks. I'll say a few weeks. It was like guys hugging, and and full disclosure, quite often I'll try to give Jimmy a hug.
What do you mean try?
And
You force them on me.
I know I'm not going to chase you. I'm not trying to rape you.
No,
Like
it's
so,
no, it's
the
it's
rape hug. No, I'm
if
not. Hang on, let me finish. Yeah, like and and then I noticed like I was going through last week's notes and we didn't talk about it, but then it wasn't there anymore. And I'm wondering if like Jimmy, and I'm going to ask you a direct question, and I put it back on for this week, and I'm wondering, Jimmy, if it's like maybe you're uncomfortable talking about the man, and I'm not talking about like groping a fella's ass or like being untoward or any kind of like faggotry. I'm talking about like you're my bro. I fucking love you. I'm gonna give you a hug. Are we gonna leave it? Is that gonna be the baseline for our
I
discussion?
I the thing is though is I thought we did talk about it on one of the pod because we did talk about it after.
We didn't talk about it on the pod.
I I thought we touched on it. That's why I took it off.
Well,
Because
if
we
we
did.
did, then let's have a deeper
I just
discussion
don't
about me
like.
hugging you.
I've never. I've
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it.
by the way, I posted a clip of one of our podcasts, and I put "I'm loving it" in the subject line,
Yeah,
and YouTube would not let me put it up. I had to change it
like
to
just
"loving it."
using the words, eh?
It wouldn't let me put it up. I had as soon as I took "I'm out," then it was fine. But it must be like because I think they
Like the
probably
words.
yeah I think McDonald's has a copyright on that phrase.
Wow.
I'm thinking, but I'm not into hugging. Like guys hugging guys, I find it very uncomfortable. Like growing up, my dad wasn't a hugger. And I'm not blaming this on my dad, but it's just
Yeah.
I've never been a hugger. I very rarely hug girls. I like I'm a very weird dude.
I don't
But
think you're not weird at all. I think that you're
but
like
it's just
you have
but the whole hugging thing. But if we want to talk about the creepiness of the Mooney hug, let's get into this one because you hug differently than anybody I ever know. One, you hug my head, and then you kiss the top of my head almost every time, which is creepy as fuck. Just saying.
well, like I used to play soccer too, so that might be a thing. Not for nothing. Like, you're like guy scores or whatever. No, but um I think actually I'm glad you mentioned that because there's like a two-phase piece to this discussion. It's like my dad was actually the emotional furnace of our family because he was like an only child in Ireland. His dad died when he was two, and in a motorcycle accident, ironically, on his way home from serving, and um, so he didn't have a pop for well, at least his natural dad from the age of 2 to forever, but then his mom remarried when he was 5. But um, so there might have been like a, but I know that my grandpa Tom, who married my dad's mom when my dad was 5, like was a little. He wasn't outgoing emotion. He was outgoing emotionally. He wasn't a hug. Nobody was a hugger back then, but my dad would hug us, and maybe it was something that he wished he had when he was a kid or whatever. But he'd always tuck us in and give us a hug before bed or whatever. And there's no one on this earth, and if he exists or she exists, uh, let's party. I'll fight you. That would say my dad's not a man, but he would always give us a hug. And I don't disagree with you, Jimmy. Like, um, when I was younger, I was a little less of a hugger, but then when I have kids, I like aunties, uncles, grandma, grandpa, everybody, like you. I'm like, make sure you get like you didn't know them when they were younger, but like I said, make sure you hug them, and I kind of instilled that upon them to like not everybody. Oh, there's a mailman, hug him. No, like people that came to our house, if they're leaving, thank you for coming. I'll give you a hug. Like it's a expression of sincerity, like which yeah, it's definitely not Clint Eastwood but by the same token, it's kind of like if you reserve it to a select group of people, especially in as the world becomes increasingly loveless, then maybe it carries a little more weight. How do you feel about that?
Uh, d- I don't disagree with hugging um in family, but I just mean like hugging friends. I'm not like
Yeah,
I
you're like like you met Mike. You know all the
no, yeah,
movies.
but
Like
you know
you're
what I mean.
family.
But you're I mean
I
real
can't give you a
like
kiss.
no, it's
Well, I'm not
creepy.
making out with you. I'm like, hey, I fucking love you, man. Like, and
Yeah,
I hate I
I
hate to
just
state
find it
the obvious. I
I
hate to
just
state
find
the
it
obvious,
awkward.
but it's like you know, like
I just find it
I
awkward
okay. Um,
if you
yeah,
care.
like not no, I and if you don't like it, then I'll stop doing it. But I'm just saying that it's like
I've been
not it.
saying that for
But
3 years. Sorry.
I know sometimes a fella has a drink, but um, like, but
We only drink like
but
when we are together, we drink.
I'm gonna share something with you though that excuse me, hopefully resonates. Like you met all the fellas, like you pretty much like you're like an honorary member of our fraternity, and it's like you met those guys, and do you know how I said it's not like something I do with everybody and I bestow it upon family or like people that are very important, just kind of go like, yeah, in a loveless world, you're that person. Well, like a lot of the young fellows that we met, like in the fraternity or whatever, like for a lot of them, that's why they're joining because it's like the one place where you go like, yeah, we value honor, we value respect, we value like tradition, um, like adherence to, um, the tenets and the values that we all like, kind of subscribe to, which are all righteous. And then you see those guys and you're like, hey, man, especially if a guy initiates, it's like, man, you went through a lot. I love you, man. You give him a hug. And then I just got used to hugging those guys too. And I don't apologize for it. And to them, they're like, holy cow, like I have so little people in my life that express like support for me trying to do my best in a world that might be a little bit harder to tackle, you
Yeah,
know?
it's like I'm not arguing the fact. It's hey, everybody has their own things
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I just find it weird. It
I
it's
10
like
like 10 years ago, I'd have found it weird that I do this, but now I realize how the world's become and I'm like, at least the people that are close to me know I love them. Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
it's no, it's like we were raised different. We
Yep.
think different ways of things, and are do I insist on you stop hugging me? Like the only way to stop you is every time you do is to wear if I wore a hat that was electrified, and then every time you hugged me you got zapped. but like I'm just telling you, it is awkward. But am I mad about it? No. And am I going to stop being your friend because you're sexually harassing me by hugging me? Um,
Oh, now it's
yeah,
sexual.
like
Wow. Like playing the victim card now. Like, come on. There's a difference between hugging and fondling.
you kind of do a little bit of a mix because you do the kiss on the top of the head too, which is again kind of creepy.
So a
And
kiss is fondling, eh? Man,
it's
I wish I'd have known that when I was like 13.
I'm just calling it as I see it. But
So,
yeah,
okay. So, henceforth, in public, you're saying, don't try to hug me again, Mooney.
if you do, I'm not going to punch you in the nuts. But
Why
this
not?
is
Like,
this is
obviously,
this is
it's
this is
very
just
a
a no. It's
hardship.
just a It's I find it awkward, but the way you explain it is, you're hugging me like we're family,
Yeah.
and and I get it. I just it's not in my comfort level, but like again, it's not going to end our friendship. It's just like if
Oh,
you continue
no.
hugging me, it's not like make or break.
This friendship's been through enough Tom fuckery that it's hard to imagine think anything worse that'll end it. But
This 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 friendship has been circling the toilet drain of loathing and hatred for years.
yes.
Um,
So let me ask you this. Like, with like, well, with the exception of like the obvious, I continue to hug you, like, and I'm not going to do that. I I respect your boundaries. But
okay,
it's like I respect your boundaries, but I want to tell you how much I love you, and that in a world of tomfuckery and like people on their phones all the time, and you know what I mean? Like then that at
we can
least there's
keep
somebody that can that wants to embrace you.
okay, we can keep the hug. Fine, just stop kissing me.
I'm nowhere near your face.
You're kissing the top of my head. That is
Okay, I'm
creepy.
like why am I there? Let me ask you that. Like it's like if like unfortunately that's like unless I drop to a knee and then you get worked up when I do that, what am I gonna do? Like and then like
Just hug like a normal person. Okay,
I fucking love you, man. Like, what do you want? Oh, please don't express
Sa-
that you love me.
save
Like,
save
oh,
the
okay.
save the kissing for your woman. Okay.
I do believe me. You don't want any part of that, my friend.
Oh, I didn't know. It's but
But I just think that like um in a world bereft of emotion, particularly with people on their phones and whatnot, that it's maybe a good thing to be a little more expressive about how you feel, as long as it's not like you know you run into someone at West Edmonton Mall, like the people that are closest to you, and so at least they know it because they're not getting it anywhere else. Believe me. Um, and maybe you keep somebody from um, like looking for that dopamine bump of a clickbait Tom fuck, and like because they know that they're loved by the people that are around them. So speaking of which, I watched the first couple episodes of Madison on Paramount. Did you watch that at all?
no, I haven't watched it yet. My mom told me I should. I haven't watched it yet because my mom really likes it.
And like the only reason I brought it up is because this conversation made me think of it. Michelle Pfeiffer, who still looks gorgeous, by the way, she's like
Oh yeah.
a perpetual crush. Fabulous Baker Boys, like oh my god, I love Michelle Pfeiffer. But there's a moment in the show, in the first episode, I think, where all her kids are on their phones, and they're rich. They're in New York, and she tells them, like maybe try to engage with each other, and then she comes back, they're still on their phones, and she bangs her fist on the table. And the one thing about the Madison, obviously, like they is like get off your phone. Like I've watched 2 episodes, and my takeaway right now is like get off your phone. Obviously, there's a shit ton of other layers, but get off your phone.
Yeah, it's that is an important thing. Like we have talked about it on previous podcasts, dealing with that, and we are gonna, do the stay off your phone, off your social
Yeah,
media and stuff.
maybe not today. We're like a buck 50 in right now. We'll leave that till next episode. In the
Yeah,
meantime, in the meantime, dear audience, and we're not ending yet, but homework, stay off your phone and see if you can do it, because we're gonna do a challenge next week. Maybe, Jimmy, what do you
yeah,
think?
yeah. Let's plan on this for next week. Uh,
I have something else I wanted to talk about.
okay,
Are
what
you
is it?
okay with that, or do you have anything else that you want to
No, let's
tackle?
keep going.
Andrew and I were on, I think it was Apple TV. It might have been Netflix. And there was a show starring, I think it was a couple of years back, or last year, Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd, and it's called The Shrink Next Door.
Oh,
And the premise of the show, it's like 100% true story. In fact, from what I've learned since we watched it, and we just stumbled upon it, like, oh, Will Ferrell, I didn't hear about this year. Let's watch it. And I think it's 6 episodes or whatever. It's like a mini series, and it's about this this fella in New York who's was referred to a shrink, um,
okay.
by his pastor. Like, I'm not going to use uh, race, well, religion. But his rabbi or someone in synagogue said, "Oh, go see this guy," and then like he was kind of lonely or whatever, and the guy like literally took over his life, and he was like a licensed shrink,
Hmm.
and then I didn't know anything about it. Andrew and I watched it, and we're like, "Oh my god! Like, what a holy cow! Talk about usury!" And then um,
Sorry, is this the Madison or is this something different?
this is
'Cause we're
called The Shrink Next Door.
oh, okay, because you were talking about the Madison like 2 seconds ago, and then okay,
Well, okay,
okay, sorry.
try to keep up. The Shrink Next Door. So
Okay,
anyway, it's I didn't find out until after we watched the show that it's actually a podcast too. Like, obviously, it's like 6 episodes. Like, this is the pervasiveness of new media. Like, where a guy, he became aware of the story. He like New York Times would, like, he's a writer for the Times of London publish, didn't want to publish it, whatever, and then he goes to podcasts, and it's like so intriguing. And holy cow, like, again, the usury, everything. So my point is that Graf and I watched it, and we really enjoyed it. Um, we thought, holy cow, what an advantage this fella was taking over the other fella. And then I listened to another podcast. Like, it's normally either when I'm driving or I'm in the shower, but um, where the guy that actually hosted the Shrink Next Door podcast was on someone else's podcast, and he said, I was disappointed by, and he got paid. He's not like angry or whatever, but like thematically, the Apple TV or Netflix or wherever it is, Shrink Next Door, um, was like a little more sunshiny than what really happened. So then I'm like, no, now I want to listen to the podcast, if you know what I mean. Because it's like a total
yeah.
story of a shrink completely and like redonkulously abusing his like ethical responsibility to remain neutral and blah blah blah. Like, I mean, like, it's an amazing story about how greasy this Ike Hirschkopf guy was. Like, I recommend everyone who's listening, check it out. And I'm like, normally, like, I'll read a book and go, I want to watch the movie. Now I'm like, I watched the podcast. I heard the guy that wrote that was like the genesis of the story, and now I'm like, I got to listen to the podcast because I need to find out how much greasier it actually was, and actually, literally crossing my fingers, hope that the perpetrator like finds justice. If you know what I mean. You've been reading the whole time, eh?
No, my screens, my like your
About it.
video is your video is right here.
No,
So
but
I'm
like,
not actually looking at my computer. I'm
oh,
actually
I hope
looking.
you were. Check it out. It's called The Shrink Next Door.
I will. It'll be on my list of things to do, and I'm not
Yeah,
just blowing
and
sunshine up your ass.
if you're local, and I've tried it, like, because like it was easier to stream it. Like, we found it by accident. Again, I think it's on Apple. It might be Netflix. It's called The Shrink Next Door. But when I tried to listen to the podcast, Spotify had like one episode, like a teaser, and then they wanted me to go somewhere to have to pay. And then I went to YouTube and it barely showed up. And then I went to Amazon Music. Like, those are all the sources of our podcast, by the way, dear listener. Amazon had it, and now I'm on like episode 2.5, maybe 3.5. And it is way more like, holy cow, kind of taking advantage of a guy thing.
Well, it sounds interesting.
Check it out, Jimmy. Like, holy, like, yeah.
So when we like you talked about this before about us doing we do prep, and I found this thing just the other day. There's a new music festival coming to the Edmonton area in July, I think it is. It's at the Ice District. Like, so they've been holding concerts in that area for a couple of years since they had that whole area open.
Yeah, like where
And
Baccarat
it's
used to be.
July 17th to the 18th. Yeah, it's in the fan park, like in the center area there.
Not for nothing,
think
Jimmy, but you're getting a little
It's
wavy, like
they
video
call it
wise.
they call it the
Your audio is good, but your videos.
yeah, it's just let me blast through this. I know what it is. It's because this website is sucking a lot of
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
it's so it's this music festival. I've been having when I opened it. So nothing that you and I are really into. Kesha, Conan Gray, Natasha Bedingfield, Miles Smith, Slater, and Heidi Montag or something. But it's in
Montague.
July. It's nothing I would really want to go. It's Montag. But yeah, it's nothing that I would really go see. But it's like we're getting into the music festival time. You know what I mean? Like all the music festivals are starting up again, including that one that I'm doing in Fort St. John.
Close that page.
Also is in July. I just did.
All right.
So it'll equalize in a second.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that guitar.
Is it any better?
Guitar's white. Maybe. Anyway, Guitars Wagons. Is that your thing? Is that what you're doing?
No, it's called the Energetic County Fair in Fort St. John, BC. Is the thing I'm doing.
My old band, when we headlined, it was Guitars Wagons.
No, this is called the Energetic County Fair. It's July 16th to the 18th. Blue Rodeo, Roadhammers, High Valley, John Foster, and then a bunch of
Jimmy headlining. Jimmy
Yeah.
hosting. The host is never the headliner.
No, and Mini Kiss is the opening day.
Mini Kiss.
Mini Kiss.
So is it like midgets doing Kiss?
It's basically a midget cover band of Chris. Yes.
How
of
fucking
Kiss.
awesome is that?
That's why they're
that's
bringing
awesome.
me out.
Oh man, like make friends with those guys. Like,
oh yeah, I think they're out of Vegas.
That's awesome. Well, if they're out of Vegas, make friends. You like have a place to crash when you piss me off when we're staying there.
Yeah, I have other friends. I could stay with Johnny.
Yeah.
He likes me more than he does you, anyway.
Like
Yes.
the world. Like the world.
So that is in the music world.
you got the festival thing going on, and that's awesome. Like I think that's great. Um, yeah, I'm looking at the list. I feel like more than anything, like we got enough today to fuel another episode. But by the same token, I feel like we got enough minutes down today that our dear listeners have probably met their threshold.
I just want to hit on two things, but actually three things before we leave. It
Awesome,
shouldn't
good,
be that long.
good.
Uh, one of which, because we were talking about guys hugging guys, and I've had this in the prep for a while. Etiquette. Thank you and you're welcome. Like, how often do you actually say when someone says thank you that you actually say you're welcome and like not no problem anytime? You know, yeah,
Jimmy, literally every single fucking day, every time.
you
And
say
I've
you're welcome.
I say you're welcome. I say have a good day. Thank you very much. Um, I've literally programmed myself to say that, and I have a story to tell you about it after. But go on, please.
Because the reason why I brought it up is I catch myself doing yeah no problem anytime. You know when people say thank you, I I caught myself not saying you're welcome because it's usually yeah no problem anytime I'll stuff like that rather than actually you're welcome. And I just wanted to see like your thoughts on
Like,
that
but you
because
said you caught yourself. Like, is there a reason why? That did you get shitty service, or did someone piss you off, or
it was at
because like it
it
sounds like
was
you're
actually
as programmed as I
it,
am,
it was
or
actually at work.
self-programmed.
It was actually at work, and people say, "Yeah, thank you," and you go, "Yeah, no
Was
problem.
someone a
Enjoy
dick
your
to you?
day." What's that? No, it's just I caught myself when they said thank you. I caught myself not saying you're welcome, saying, "Yeah, no problem, anytime."
Oh, because
Enjoy
you're
your meal,
programmed.
and yeah. So I wasn't actually.
Oh, I get it.
I actually wasn't saying you're welcome. I
Because it
was.
was so rare that someone actually said thank you to you that you were like your wires
It's
crossed.
yeah. It's yeah. I just
Yeah,
got
I
my.
know. I get, like holy cow. Yeah. So what's your take on that? You tell me first.
I don't know. That's why I was kind of bringing it up to you because,
Because
do you like is nowadays is it because not a lot of people say you're welcome. It's like yeah, no problem, anytime, you know. And is so has is it changing to you know being less formal rather than you're welcome being like the formal response?
no, like I'm the Pied Piper of respect. Like I'm like that's the way we used to be, or like I hope it's not used to, but that's the way we should always be to anyone. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Have a good day. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Like I get a coffee at Starbucks. I'm like, thanks. Have a great day. Um, always like that's just what I do.
No,
And
thank you is automated
yeah,
response,
but
but
but someone said thank you. Like you weren't hip on the you're welcome. But I think that if I may, Jimmy, it's like very few people that leave when you're working say thank you. And you kind of got a little wire cross. Like,
I don't know. I think I mostly now say, no problem,
and
anytime.
so like they said thank you, and you said no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
because you used to. Well, that there's nothing wrong with that, but you're welcome is okay too. But
yeah.
at least people were nice enough to say thank you, and I'm
Yeah.
like, we should all aspire to be those people that say have a good night, thank you, I appreciate it, blah blah blah, like all the stuff that we say or we should say in a respectful society, right?
Like when I'm at work and anyone's leaving, I always go, "Thank you. Have a great rest of your day." I always, I don't ignore people when they're leaving, and they
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 they're responding unless they're dragging their kids out and they're distracted because their
Like
kids are being a pain in the ass. Um,
so one thing I couldn't do if I was doing your job is like people not managing their kids. I'm like I had twins, and I'd like to think that we managed them pretty well. and they're doing pretty well thus far. But I've seen some of their peers and the way their parents parented them, and I'm like, oh my fuck, like,
Okay, let me ask you a question then. So
okay,
you're in a restaurant,
yeah,
and it's, say you're having a birthday party for your kids in the restaurant when they were kids,
mhm.
right? And you have a huge table, like 10 or 15 of their friends.
Yeah, you booked it 2 weeks ago, blah blah blah. Yeah, I know, I get it.
Okay, and you do that. Now, do you govern that group?
Like,
What I mean is like the kids running from the table to the bathroom 106 times, and running and playing around in the walkways and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, like,
do you button that down? Yeah, no,
well,
guys,
like,
stay seated.
yeah.
Don't run around like a bunch of jackasses. Or do you sit and hang out with their parents, with the parents of like, and just
So
it's
like,
adult time?
yeah, like Kieran and Caitlin, who are like 20 now, and I can't imagine a parent more proud of their kids than I am of mine. But like, when we had birthdays, or when I had birthdays, or when Andrew and I had birthdays, it was it wasn't public. We would do something at our house. We would do like whatever was necessary. Not, I don't want to say necessary, like, but whatever they wanted to do. Like, do you want to do Clue? Do you want to do like Andrew used to make the best cakes, um, and it's just like surrounded by the people that love you the best. And like 20 people when you're 6, 8, 7, whatever, are not the people that love you the best. It's like a coronation of King whatever little prick's birthday is today. So that's already fucked up, if you don't mind me saying. So it's kind of like you have friends. Nobody, even us now. Like, I mean, yeah, I have 20 friends, but if someone told me to pick, I have more than 20. But if someone told me to pick my best five, it would be pretty easy. Or 6, 7. You get my point. And so having this big, like, it's the whole that we're gonna court, like, it's like that Game of Thrones with Prince, the kid that like killed people. Like, come on, you're not here to glorify your son. You're here to ask him, like, who are your three best friends? Tell him to come to the house. We're gonna have a birthday party. Oh, I feel bad about Chris. Okay, invite him too. You don't bring them to a fucking public place and then tell their parents to walk away and then assume response, because you don't even have the honor to assume the responsibility for these kids. Fuck out of here. Like, that's their problem, their fault. Is that
Yeah,
an answer to your question?
kind of. Like, so when you're going out to a restaurant, your kids aren't running around going back and forth to the bathroom
Never,
100 times
never.
and running. If they're running around, you put walk, don't run. Like,
One of my best friends that you don't even know, or no, sorry, that you do know. Um, Luckily, our audience doesn't. His daughter was like 2 or 3, and we're watching football on Sunday at whatever, like, Sunday afternoon, and she decided that she wanted to go for a walk. And yeah, it wasn't a problem. He's letting her walk him around the place, and I'm sorry, friend, about whom I'm speaking right now, but like, I was like, really? Because all you're doing is setting yourself up for like failure. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's hard enough that you got to work, um, however many hours a day a fellow works, but at least, like, bring someone into society that's like, like maybe a little more evolved. I wish I was less of a slave, so I'm going to teach my child to be confident, but not confident enough to disrespect authority, and walk me through a restaurant, like when she's 2.
yeah. But also, I guess when they're two, it's different because they're walking because
No,
they got
no, it
Nancy.
isn't. It's not
But if
different.
they're not, but if they're running around, that's what I'm talking about. Running around, running
No,
in and out of the restaurant, running to and from the bathroom, and
I don't think Kieran ever tried it when he was little, but I know Caitlin did. And you know what that led to is like I scooped her up and we went in the car and we waited till like Kieran and their mom like finished shopping. And it's like party's over. There's no Tom fucking. We're in a society, and like that's it.
yeah.
There's no like you don't have to spank anybody. You just go, no, it's not acceptable. I'm not going to subject society to you, and I don't want to walk around in a world where I have to make excuses because you're running my show.
Okay. Yeah, I totally I do agree with you, and
In my
it's
opinion, sorry.
yeah. No, I'm not arguing with you. Uh, okay. I want to hit one last thing, and then I just want to talk about the walk so kids can talk, but I'll
Yeah,
do that in a
100%.
second. In a second, I have something else that you wrote on here. This should be a quick one. Organic food.
Now, no, let's save it. I prefer if we saved it for next episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we all see it at the grocery.
Like you're
Um,
talking like organic produce.
yeah, like
I think I personally think that's total bullshit. Everything is organic. Like if you have a real vegetable there, I don't know the difference between organic and other than the
yeah,
fact that they don't use pesticides.
and they
But
charge you more money. But here's a
yeah,
trailer for next episode, basically. But organic food, like I thought so too, Jimmy. And then I did a little research, and I'm like, like I'm still on your side. Um, but yeah, I'd like to. It'll be a more substantive conversation next episode.
I'm involved. I'm getting involved this year for the Walk So Kids Can Talk. If you don't know what that is, it's something. It's a BMO thing. Like BMO does it. It deals with like it helps Kids Help Phone. And if you don't know what Kids Help Phone is, it's an organization that does help kids. It's like a hotline they can call if they need a counselor dealing with abuse, dealing with being bullied, like anything that kids can deal with. It's a hotline, and the Walk So Kids Can Talk. It's put on by BMO, and it has been every year, and it's actually really cool. I've been part of it. It's a family thing. You walk around the park. I think it's 5 kilometers, and uh, it is actually really cool. They do it across Canada. It's at the Gold Bar Park, and it's like on, as I said, on May 3rd. Yeah, May 3rd, and it's really cool. So I'm going to be involved. I've been part of it. I used to have Kids Help Phone on my pink shirt day, like they were um my charity of choice in previous years when I was with the radio station, and I'd love to get them back. And it's just a really cool thing. It's a day like there's a bunch of families there. Hell, like if you're gonna join me there, Mooney, bring your kids.
Yep.
They're like it's for all ages. It's like a day thing. Like they have like a barbecue, like where they have hot dogs and all that kind of stuff, and it's just a fun day. And it's helping Kids Help Phone. It's a really good organization, and yeah, and I've been a supporter for the last couple years or few years.
Yeah, you've been a supporter longer than that, Jimmy.
What's that?
I said you've been a supporter longer than that, like when you're on the
Like,
radio or whatever.
yeah, like yes, and I haven't done the walk in the last couple years, like since radio, but I really want to get back to it. It's a
Yeah,
really cool event.
this is an individual initiative by you, so fair fuck,
Yes,
and you deserve respect for that. By the way, like for all the I used to be on radio thing, it's like kind of like, but now I'm on podcast because
I
that's the
actually
future anyway.
hey, just so you know, okay. When I talk to people about I remember you from the locker room. No, you're so much fun. I tell them, hey, I have a podcast. It's called the Bald and Short of It podcast. It's me and a bald asshole. And see, okay, do that. Take your hat off again one more time. You know what? There it is. There it is. Uncle Fester. That's what you look. That's you call me Ronald McDonald, and you with the hat off, you look like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family.
Okay.
Just saying. Or the Despicable Me guy.
Anyway,
but yes, so that's in May. It's May 3rd. It's always on a Sunday, and it's the Walk So Kids Can Talk. And I'm involved this year. And if you like just a wholesome day of hanging out with people, they make a day of it. It's really cool. And it's at the Gold Bar Park. I think it used to be called Howard Park, but I could be wrong.
it's not like Horlock. By the way, we should do an episode from there. But Horlock's almost open. They've been closed for 2 years.
Okay,
Gold
yeah.
Bar Park is something different. Whatever. People can look it up. Don't worry about it.
But yes, and so yeah, I will be there. Mooney will probably be there. We'll look sexy as hell, and that is in May. And other than that, I think we're good. We're gonna call her a podcast. This is the Bald and Short of It podcast. I am James P. White. That is Chris Mooney, and we'll see you next time for episode. It'll be episode 40. Will be
It will so. Yep. Cheers.